right, seeing if we got sound, testing, testing. Got sound, testing, testing. All right, we're good to go. Shalom, Israel. We're the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, where we are led by the amazing Commanding General YAHANNA. And this is the I.S.U.P.K Houston Sabbath service. You know, the Sabbath service is part of the law. You know, it's in the Torah that we have to observe the Sabbath and keep it holy, and that's what we do in the I.S.U.P.K. Here's where you'll see the priests and prophets of the Lord read the actual Torah, the first 5 books of the Bible. Read it in the actual Hebrew, and then go in and read it in the English and break it down. You know, that if that's not keeping it holy, then I don't know what it is. Doing what our culture, doing what our ancestors used to do, and read these scriptures and our native language, Lashon Kodash. You know, no other. That's why we're not associated with any other Israelite groups, because no other Israelite group. This is the home of the truth. You know, we do what we are ordained to teach the Bible the way God wants it taught, and that's what we do. You got anything out? No sweat. I'm your eye. So with that, we're gonna get started. I do want to say before we start that it is late Friday night, but technically this is the Sabbath. As we know, a new day, biblically speaking, a new day starts at sundown. It may still be Friday, but it's technically the Sabbath. Days go from sundown to sundown, so we could say this is early Sabbath morning. That's what we're doing. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. We're gonna get into these prayers, man. Give me 1 second. So imadium, which means to stand. Can I get a horn blast, shot? Water. YAHANNA. One more horn blast. Move that cord. All right. I don't have to multitask with the prayers. You gonna be able to do it?
Come.
I'm not sure. I don't want to. Most high Christ. We're gonna star, which means to turn and face the east. We're gonna get into these prayers.
This is the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa.
Shabbat Shemayim. Kodash. Hayah. Shemka. Yahweh. Malakwath. Taba'ah. Ratazayaka. Hayah. I.S.U.P.K. Ba'aratza. Kawa. Hayah. Bashamayim. Nathalanawa. Lacham. Call. Yawam. Wasalaknawa. Kabawatnawa. Kasalaknawa. Kabawathinawa. Wala'ah. Taba'ayanawa. Banasayawan. Abal. Hawashayanawa. Mayan. Rai. Kaya. Laka. Hamalakwath. Wahala. Wahataparath. La'awalamium. Aman. In the English, Our Father, which art in heaven,
which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
thy kingdom come,
thy kingdom come,
thy will be done
thy will be done
in earth
in earth
as it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day
Give us this day
our daily bread,
our daily bread,
and forgive us our debts
and forgive us our debts,
as we forgive our debtors.
as we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not into temptation,
And lead us not into temptation,
but deliver us from evil.
but deliver us from evil.
For thine is the
For
kingdom,
thine is the kingdom,
and the power,
and the power,
and the glory,
and the glory,
forever.
forever.
So be it.
So be it. This is our the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Bahashim Yahweh Shah,
Bahashim Yahweh Shah,
Baba Kashah,
Babu Kashah,
Nathalunwa,
Nathalanawa,
Hakach,
Achach,
Hakach,
Achach,
La Rafa'ah,
La Rapa'ah,
Kal Makala,
Kal Makala,
Kal Marawa,
Wakal Manawa,
Hakach,
Achach,
La Tahar,
Latahar,
Hamat Zabrayim,
Hamatzazayim,
Hakach,
Achach,
La Hakayam,
Lahakwayam,
Hamat Zabrayim,
Hamathayam,
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 Hakach,
Achach,
Al Rakawah,
Al Rakawath,
Hamat Allah,
Hatam Ma'ala,
Lagar Shah,
Lagarashan,
Bahashim Yahweh Shah,
Bahashim Yahweh Shah,
the water Aman,
Tawada Aman. In the English, Yahweh,
Yahweh,
in the name of Yahweh Shah,
in the name of Yahweh Shah,
please give us the power
please give us
the power to heal all manner of sickness
the power to heal all manner of sickness
and all manner of disease,
and all manner of disease,
the power to cleanse the lepers,
the power to cleanse the lepers,
the power to raise the dead,
the power to raise the dead,
the power against unclean spirits,
the power against unclean spirits,
to cast them out
to cast them out
in the name of Yahweh Shah.
in the name of Yahweh Shah.
Thank you. So be it.
Thank you. So be it. This is Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah,
Asha'ah,
Ayanya,
Ayanya,
Ahahari,
Al Haharim,
Ma'ayan,
Ma'ayan,
Yaba'ah,
Yaba'ah,
Izari,
Izaria,
Izari,
Izaria,
Ma'yan,
Ma'an,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Aisha,
Aisha,
Shemaiah,
Shemayim,
Wa'aratza,
Wa'aratazah,
Al-Yathan,
Al-Yathan,
Lamawat,
Lamawat,
Wagalka,
Regalka,
Al-Yanawam,
Al-Yanawam,
Shabaraka,
Shamaraka,
Hana'ah,
Hanala'ah. I was like, Hana,
Hana, La'ah,
La'ah,
Yanawam,
Yanawam,
Wala'ah,
Wala'ah,
Yayashan,
Yayashan,
Shabar,
Shawamar,
Shawamar, Yasha'ala,
Yasha'ala,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Shamaraka,
Shamaraka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Tozoka,
Tazalka,
Al-Yad,
Al-Yad,
Yamyanka,
Yamyanka,
Yomam,
Yawamam,
Yawamam,
Yawamam, Hashamash,
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 La'ah,
La'ayakayaka,
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 Wa'arak,
Wayarak,
Balaya'ah,
Balayala,
Balayala, Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamaraka,
Yashamaraka,
Makal Rai,
Makal Rai,
Yashamar,
Yashamar,
Apapashka,
Afnapashka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamar,
Yashamar,
Za'afka,
Taza'afka,
Waba Waka,
Waba Wa'aka,
Ma'aitha,
Ma'aitha,
Wa'aid Alam,
Wa'ad Awalam. In the English, I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills,
I will lift up my eyes into the hills,
from whence cometh my help.
from whence cometh my help.
My help cometh from the Lord,
My help cometh from the Lord,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee
He that keepeth thee
will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel
he that keepeth Israel
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee thy day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil.
The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in,
and thy coming in,
from this time forth
from this time forth
and even forevermore.
and even forevermore. This is Psalm 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim.
Alahayim.
Al Damayalaka.
Al Damayalaka.
Al Takarash.
Al Takawash.
Wa Al Tashukwat.
Wa Al Tashakwat.
All.
Kayahanna.
Al YAHANNA.
Al YAHANNA.
Yahaman. Wa Mashanayaka.
Wa Mashanayaka.
Nasha'awa.
Ra'ash.
Al Amika.
Al Amika.
Ya'ira Yawan.
Ya'iram Yamwa.
So why? Well, I taza what?
Waya
The I taza what?
Wayata ya I tazawa.
All taza mamoyaka.
Al Tazapawanyaka.
Amarawa.
Amarawa. Lakawa.
Wanakakidam.
Wanakachidam.
Magawa.
Magawa.
Slaka. Walaya.
Wala'a.
Yazakar.
Sham
Yasha'ala.
Yasha'ala.
Awad.
Kaya.
Now taza what? Now I taza what?
Nawa'a tazawa.
La.
Yakadwa.
Al Yonk.
Al Yaka. Baryath.
Yakara. What?
Yakarathwa. Ahoya. Adawam.
My alayom.
Wayashamai Aliyam. Wayashamai Aliyam. Mawa'aba. Wahagarian. Gabal. Wa'amawan. Wa'amalak. Palashath.
I'm Yeshabi.
Tazawar. Gum Ashawar. Nalawa. Amam. Hayawa. Zarawai. Laban Yalawat. Salah. Aishalaham. Kamadian. Kasayasar Yara Kasaya Salakia. Kasayasara. Kayabian. Banakal.
Yashawan.
Kwayashawan.
Nashabian.
Nashamadwa. By under Ira. Bayanda Ira. Hayawa. Daman. La Arama. Shayatamwa. Nadiyamawa. Ka Irab. Wakaza Abba. Wakaza Bak. Wakatazal Manai. Call Nasia Kamwa. Ashar. Amarwa. Nayarasha. Lanawa. Ata. Na'awath. Alahayam. Alahaya. Shayatamwa. Kagagala. Kakwash. Lapanya Rakwa. Kaash. Taba Ira Ira. Wakala Haba. Talahat. Hariam. Khan. Tharadapma. Basa Irika. Wabasa Tabahalam. Mala'a. Panyaham. Kwalawan. Wayabakwashwa. Shamka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Wabasha,
Yabashwa,
Wabashwa,
Yabashwa,
Waya Behold,
Waya Bahawa,
Idea I,
Ide,
Waya Kaparu,
Waya Kaparwa,
Waya Abadwa,
Waya Abadwa,
Waya Waya the Iowa,
Waya the Iowa,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Atha,
Ata,
Shimka,
Shamka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Labak,
Labadka,
Alawan,
Ayawan,
all call Haratiza.
all call Harataza. In the English, keep not thou silence,
Keep not thou silence,
O power,
O power,
hold not thy peace,
hold not thy peace,
and be not still,
and be not still,
O power,
O power,
for lo,
for lo,
thine enemies make a tumult,
thy enemies make a tumult,
and they that hate thee
and they that hate thee
have lifted up the head.
have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people,
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people,
and consulted against thy hidden
and
ones.
consulted against thy hidden ones.
They have said,
They have said,
come and let us cut them off from being a nation,
come and let us cut them off from being a nation,
that the name of Yasharallah may be no more in remembrance.
that the name of Yahshua shall be no more in remembrance.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
They are confederate against thee,
They are confederate against thee,
the tabernacles of Edom,
the tabernacles of Edom,
and the Ishmaelites
and the Ishmaelites
of Moab,
of Moab,
and the Hagarenes,
and the Hagarenes,
Gabal,
the Baal,
and Ammon,
and Ammon,
and Amalek,
and Amalek,
the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre.
the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre.
Assur also is joined with them.
Assur also is joined with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They are hope in the children of Lot.
Salah,
So Lot,
do unto them
do unto them
as unto the Midianites,
as unto the Midianites,
as to Sisera,
as to Sisera,
as to Jabin,
as to Jack,
at the brook of Kison,
at the brook of Kaisar,
which perished at Endor.
which perished at Endor.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth,
Make their nobles like Oreb,
make them nobles like Arab,
and like Zaeb,
and like Zaed,
yea,
yea,
all their princes as Zabah,
all their princes as a Bach,
and as Amunah,
and as Amun,
who said,
who said,
let us take to ourselves
let us take to ourselves
the house of the power in possession.
the house of the power of possession.
O my power,
Oh, my power,
make them like a wheel,
make them like a wind,
as the stubble before the wind,
as the stubble before the wind,
as the fire burneth the
as
wood,
the fire burneth the wood,
and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
So persecute them with thy tempest,
So persecute them like tempest,
and make them afraid with thy
and
storm.
make them afraid with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame,
Fill their faces with shame,
that they may seek thy name.
that they may seek thy name.
O Lord,
O Lord,
let them be confounded in trouble forever.
let them be confounded in trouble forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let them be put to shame
let them be put to shame
and perish,
and perish,
that men may know
that men may know
that thou,
that thou,
whose name alone
whose name alone
is Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
art the most high
art the most high
over all the earth.
over all the earth.
Sar. Yashabian, you may be seated. Let's give a hand for them prayers. Like I said, it's the Sabbath, but it's the middle of the night. And even in the middle of the night, man, saying them prayers from the bottom of my gut makes me feel great, man. Cursing our enemies and asking the Most High to curse our enemies for what they done to us, man, and what they continue to do for us, man. It's a good feeling. We're gonna go ahead and get started. We left off, and we're still in the book of Deuteronomy. So we're gonna get back to where we left off in the book of Deuteronomy. I believe we're at 28 and 18. If you want to read the Hebrew along with us, you can go to do so in the Bible Hub app. It's an app you can download it in the App Store. If you have iTunes or if you have Google Play, you can download the Bible Hub app. You go to Interlinear, and then you go to whichever book that you want. It'll only be in the Hebrew in the first 5 books of the Torah, because the rest of the books of the Bible were I believe Greek. So the actual Hebrew will only be from the first 5 books of the Torah. But you can read along with us on that app. And we're gonna get started whenever you're ready.
Come. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 23, verse 18 in Hebrew. La'ah, Thaba, Ya'ah, Athan, Slaki, Atha, Nun, Zawana, Wam,
Kayar, Kalab, Bayah, Yahweh, Alahayaka, Lakal, Nadar, Kaya, the Wabath, Yahweh.
Hold on, that's not the Wabath. That's the
Ibath.
Ibath. Yeah.
The Ibath, Yahweh, Alahayaka, Gum, Sana, Yahum. Verse 19, La'ah, Thash, Yaka,
Tashyak.
Thashyak,
Mm-hmm.
Thashyak, La'ah, La'ai, Kayak, La'ayaka,
La'akyak.
La'akayak, La'akayak, Nashak, Kasak, Nashak, Akal, Nashak, Kal, Dabar, Ashar, Yashak,
Mm-hmm.
verse 20, Lanaka, Raya, Lanaka, Raya,
Lanuk Rayat.
Lanak, Raya, Thashyak, Wala, Koyaka,
Wala'ak. Wala'ak Yaka.
Wala Akiyaka, La'a, Thashak, Lama'ain, Yabarka,
Mm-hmm.
Yahweh, Alahayaka, Bakal, Mashalak, Yadaka,
Yadak.
Yadak, Al, Haratza, Ashar, Atha, Ba'ah, Shemai, Larash, Tha. Verse 21, Kaya, Thadawar, it's like a Thadar,
Mm-hmm.
Thadar, Nadar, La Yahweh, Alahayaka, La'ah, Tha'ah, Tha'ah, Kar, Tha'akar,
Dakar.
Tha'akar, Lash,
Lashar Mawa.
Lashal, Mawa, Lashal, Mawa, Koya, Darash, Yadar Shanawa,
Mm-hmm.
Yahweh, Alahayaka, Ma'imaka, Ya, it's like it. Wahaya,
Mm-hmm.
Baka, Nasa, it's like it. Kasa,
Khata.
Kata,
Mm-hmm.
verse 22, Wakaya, Fuck, Kadal, Lanador,
Lanadar. You got it.
Lanadar, La'ah, Ya, Baka, Kata. Verse 23, Mawataza, Shapath Theaka. It's like it. Shapath Yaka.
Mhm.
Thashamor. Wa'ai Shayatha. Wa'ai Shayath.
Watch it out.
Kashar. Nabaratha.
At the rock.
Nadarath. La Yahweh. Alahayaka. Nadaba. Ashar. Dabar Rath.
Mhm.
Payaka.
Mhm.
Verse 24. Kaya. Thaba'a. Bakaram. Bakarayam or Bakaram?
Just buck around.
Bakaram. Ra'ayaka. Wa'ak. Latha. It's like it. Nabayim.
Mhm.
Kona Pashaka.
Kanap Shak.
Kanap Shak.
Kanap Shakat.
Kanap Shaka. Shabayaka. Shabayaka. Wa'al Kalayaka.
That's Wa'al.
Wa'al.
Wa'al Kalayaka.
Wa'al Kalayaka. La'a. Sathan.
Was that 7? This is the last one, right?
Pause.
Start at 18.
Kind of started at 18, sir. Kind of. This is Slakia. Verse 25. Kaya. Thaba'a. Bakwa Math. Ra'ayaka. Wakwa Tapath. Wakwa Tapafka. Wakwa Kapath.
Wakwa Tapath.
Wakwa Tapath. Ma'al Yalath.
Mala Yalath.
Mala Yalath. Bayadaka. Bayadaka.
Mhm.
Wak.
Bayadak.
Wayadak.
I'm sorry, yeah, it's Bayadak.
Bayadak.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of. Bayadak. Wakamash. Wakar Mash.
Wakaram. I guess you could say it that way, kind of.
La'a. Thanayap. Al. Kwamath. Ra'ayaka.
Those hang crazy.
In English, sir?
Yeah, we get to it. Before we get into the English, I just want to say, pretty much get us a recap of where we at before we start getting into it. So we're on the 23rd chapter, right? I'm not sure. I don't want. We're on the 23rd chapter of Deuteronomy, and thus far, all of reading Deuteronomy, it's pretty much laying out the rules and regulations for the not just any nation, but the nation of Israel to prosper and be a great nation. In the beginning of the chapter, it talked about it pretty much talked about how Moses was telling the people, not the chapter, but the book, beginning of the book. Moses was telling the people pretty much how they should be happy that the Lord is blessing them. And when the Lord tells them to go take something, go and take a hold of a land to make themselves, do it, because the Lord has your back. And in doing so, when the Lord gives you something, you have to show the Lord your thanks. You have to give offerings to the Lord. And also in the congregation of Israel, only certain things are allowed. The book of Deuteronomy thus far has taught us how to be good businessmen, righteous businessmen at that, and good brothers to your brothers and sisters. And now what we're getting into at this point on the 23rd chapter is what's not allowed into the congregation. There's certain things before this point in the book, we went over how we should how the Most High wants us to run as a nation. Now this part of the book is telling us what the Most High does not accept in our nation. Like certain things will be cast out, exiled. There's such things exiled. Back then, if somebody couldn't get it right, they couldn't keep the law, statutes, and commandments. It said before in the book of Deuteronomy, if no, not actually in Deuteronomy. I think we were in Leviticus, but pretty much remember when I think when that I think it was, I don't want to say it was Aaron, but somebody was sleeping with the Moabite. And not Moabite. Yeah, then they thrust the javelin through them. Okay. Yeah, it's just like it's just like certain laws are punishable by death. So it's things that we won't accept in this nation, and you will be exiled if not put to death. And that's what we're going over now. We the 23rd chapter is going over things that certain behaviors and things that aren't allowed into the congregation. And you can go ahead and get into it.
Come on. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 23, verse 18 in the English. Thou shalt not bring the hire of a whore or the price of a dog into the house of the Lord thy God for any vow. For even both these are abomination unto the Lord thy God.
Now, let me stop you right there. And please give me something if you got it too.
Okay.
Now, when it's saying thou shalt not bring the hire of a whore, we know what that means. But it's pretty much ain't no prostitution in this congregation. We can't have that in this house, in the house of Israel. This we're a godly people. We're God's chosen people. We're given the law, statutes, and commandments. Like I said in Deuteronomy chapter 4, these law, statutes, and commandments make us a wise and understanding people. That's why we can't be out here whoring each other. That wasn't allowed back then. But when it gets back into a price of a dog, what do you think that means? That's how you know that this is a book for Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans. That's actually talking about a heathen. The price of a dog. In the New Testament, Yahushua and the heathen itself referred to heathens as dogs. So we pretty much we don't want scum in our not scum, but we don't. Yeah, I mean, I'm not even gonna second guess that scum. We don't want whores, and we don't want abominations, which are heathens. Both of those are abominations of the Lord, and it's so heavy that it's saying we don't want that the price of a whore is abomination, because that like I just said, we're God's chosen people. We cannot supposed to have that. And now what are blacks and Hispanics looked at as? Thugs and whores. What they wear coochie cut, what they wear Daisy Dukes and saggy pants with do-rags. I'm not saying saggy pants and do-rags is not comfortable. And if you're a woman, even if you are comfortable in Daisy Dukes, you shouldn't be wearing that. But that's what we're looked at as. If a Edomite person, which is a white person, or even another nation or person, or what do you call it, East Indian person, were to try to act like a black person, what would they do? They would act degradable. They would do bad things. They would be unbrotherly to their brother, and they would do things like hoard themselves out. Like the sodomite man, who is the gay man, or Salaki, the alternative lifestyle man, he acts like a black woman. That's how he acts. He snaps his fingers and rolls his neck. But that's not an average black woman. What is that? That's a black woman with issues. That's an ignorant black woman. When they try, see the blacks and Hispanics, we're known for negative attributes. We're not supposed to be known for that. And that's what this is saying in this first verse that we brought out. You know what I'm saying? That's not the hire of a whore or the price of a dog. they're not allowed in the house of Israel. We're not supposed to be there. We're supposed to be a people with a respectable group of people, a group of people with morals and values, a high esteem set of people. Other nations are supposed to look at us and be like, oh, I want to be like them, or I'm not on their level. I know I can't be on their level. They do everything. We already are the salt of the earth. You got something, Hud? Go ahead.
We already are the salt of the earth. We are the greatest people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a shame the way that they portray us on TV and on the social media. And when it came to what you was talking about with the whoredom and everything within the kingdom, it can't be any whoredom within the kingdom because that's evil that is in the kingdom, evil within Israel. We have to put that out of Israel. We can't have that in Israel.
Mm-hmm. Well said. We a nation of kings and priests and princesses, princes and princesses. How are we supposed to be looking if we whoring each other out? That's like when these other nations drive in our neighborhoods, they see people selling drugs, and they see our brothers selling drugs, and they see our sisters prostituting, and that's work for us. And then what is partying for us? Being in the club and getting drunk to the point we pass out. That's having fun. And what's our daily life? Our daily lifestyle at home? Beating domestic violence, beating each other, beating our kids, living in filth. That's what we're supposed to. That's the type of people we're supposed to be known for. When in these scriptures, our women are supposed to be so precious and so soft and meek that they're not even supposed to touch their soles of their feet are not supposed to touch the ground. That's how delicate they are. Instead, our sisters are out here, you know what I'm saying, chasing down pimps in high heels, out in all of the elements all day in the same clothes, whoring themselves out, disrespectful and transgression of the law. We're not supposed to have that, man. We have to come to our senses. What we have to do is come back to our culture. This Bible is our culture. This Bible teaches us how to steer away from that. I know that was only the first chapter, but it's already heavy. You can keep going, Ox, like you, unless you had something.
I had something, yes. If we don't come back to our culture, our women will keep on doing the same thing. Our women will be married and be out there with a see-through dress on, you can see all the backside of our woman. Mm-hmm. That's not supposed to happen in Israel. You're supposed to be a delicate woman. You're supposed to keep yourself covered. You're supposed to be a modest woman. You're not supposed to walk out looking like a slave. You know what I'm saying? With everything out in the open. And like 12-year-old General Muhammad would say, with your front butt out.
And then, if I could, that's heavy what you said, looking like a slave. Yeah, you looking like a low level human being with barely no clothes on and the elements outside trying to do anything for $1. You looking the real low, but you're really looking like a slave, because that's what the oppressor wants. The oppressor wants you to stay on the bottom, because he knows when you move from the bottom, that when you move from the bottom, you're moving towards the top. And he's on the top right now. There can only be one nation of people on the top. But I got bad news for the oppressor, because that one nation of people that's supposed to be on the top is prophesied as the children of Israel. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are supposed to be on the top. But yeah, go ahead. Water.
We get back into it. Verse 19. Thou shalt not lend upon usury to thy brother, usury of money, usury of victuals, usury of anything that is lent upon usury.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 20.
Well, let me break that down. Yeah. We're not gonna get far. That's a lot. I'm not gonna break it down too much, but pretty much, it's no cheapskating your brother. No swindling your brother when it comes down to business and it comes down to money. We're a nation of brothers and sisters that practice brotherhood. This was before Christ. These laws, statutes, and commandments, Deuteronomy was before Christ, but the same spirit of Christ was supposed to be upheld. Christ showed us what was supposed to be upheld through his life, his walks. But that brotherhood that he showed us, it was expected of us. The Most High sent him because we weren't getting it right. But that was expected of us in this time. We're supposed to be a brother to our people. We're not supposed to be swindling our brothers and putting and adding interest upon interest if when it comes down to money and loans. But that's all I got on that. You can keep going out, Lucky.
Can I say something on that?
Go ahead.
Quick. That's another reason why all these other nations get here and they do so well in this hellhole that we are in, because they get here and they get to have get a loan with 0.0001% interest. We get a loan, we got 15, 20, 30. Shoot, certain places, if you go to certain loan places, you got a 580% interest rate.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll tell you right before you even get that interest, before you even get that loan.
Well said. These other nations, they know what brotherhood is. They show each other, you know what I'm saying, the brotherhood when it comes down to loans. It feels like being a Judite, I was born with a bad credit score, or at least I don't want to move because the color of my skin not moving. Lord willing, Christ come back before I have to raise my credit. But man, this whole credit and interest thing, getting loans, is hard for us. You know what I'm saying? Black, Spanish, Native Americans, that we're not allowed much, and that's an understatement.
Okay.
But go ahead, it's lucky.
Right. Verse 20. Unto a stranger thou mayest lend upon usury, but unto thy brother thou shalt not lend upon usury.
Let me say something. Damn, this is heavy, so we're not gonna get far tonight. But Salakia, but that's what you just said. You know that the other nations they show each other. They show their own people brotherhood when it comes down to interest and money and loans, but they don't show us no brotherhood. And low key, that's what it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to show your own people brotherhood, just like it says in here. To the stranger, to the heathen, we can tax them. Yeah, we can tax them. You want something that I got? That's gonna cost you about $350. we can tax the heathen man. Personally, I'm not even gonna say what I do personally, but I'll say it. I don't like when I'm at a restaurant. This might you can say that I'm not really fair on this matter, but I don't like to leave a tip for like heathens. Or if I'm getting an Uber or something, I don't tip the heathens. I give them exactly what they work for. Because I'm already being oppressed. I don't have enough money for myself to get by. Why would I be giving them extra money for a job that they do? It's not like they do. If they do a real good job, I'll think about it. But for the most part, no, I'm not making it easier for them. And that's pretty much the spirit of the verse 20 right here. You know what I'm saying? To the stranger, we could lend upon usury. We could put interest on top of interest. But to your brother, we can't do that. Slaki, go ahead.
Exactly, and that's what you was doing. Exactly what it's talking about right here. And it goes the same with like the what we call the homeboy price or the brotherhood price.
Damn right.
You know what I'm saying? So say if sister braids hair, for us, we're gonna get a nice price. But for those who are not part of the body, you're gonna get taxed.
And what you're saying is heavy, if I could, because almost when it's a good thing to get the homeboy price or the brotherhood price, but we in our nation, people, and Black Judites especially, we tend to expect the super duper discount from the brothers and give whatever is asked for to the heathen. You know what I'm saying? If we like, I don't want. I'm using this as an example. I know getting edge ups is unlawful, but here, let me think of something. Say a brother had a hot dog stand, and he was charging $3 for the hot dogs. Another brother coming up to get a hot dog is number. Man, you can't give me one for $1, man. We supposed to be brothers. That brother, he could hit you off with the homeboy price, but $3 might be what he needs to run his business. Now, if the heathen man is charging $4.50, you're not even gonna say nothing. You're gonna pay him the $4.50 for the hot dog. You're gonna give him $4.50 and be like, "Thank you for the hot dog." And talk and tell your brothers that, man, this hot dog was pretty good. He might have been a white boy, but that hot dog was pretty good. Now, what we got to do is we have to understand that that the brotherhood price is brotherhood, and we can't always the brotherhood price is we're all in oppression. We're all facing this oppression. So it may be hard for the brotherhood to give the brotherhood price, especially when the heathen is giving the heathen price.
Exactly.
But I'm not going to expound upon that. We got to get through these seven scriptures. Like you.
That the Lord thy God may bless thee in all that thou settest thine hand to in the land, whether thou goest to possess it.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 21. When thou shalt vow a vow unto the Lord thy God, thou shalt not slack to pay it, for the Lord thy God will surely require it of thee, and it would be sin in thee.
Mm-hmm. If the Lord requires something of you, and you know that you're supposed to be doing something for the Lord, you better do it. How do we know this? What other scriptures or precepts in the Bible about this? The story of Jonah. I'm saying he was supposed to go do the work of the Lord. He tried to turn his back. The Lord was about ready to kill him, and that's when he saw the Lord was ready to do away with him. He knew what was up. He prayed to the Most High for a second chance, and the Most High showed him mercy and gave him that second chance, and he got it done. Because he was sinning by trying to turn his back on that. But keep going, Salaki.
Verse 22. But if thou shalt forbear to vow, it shall be no sin in thee.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 23. That which is gone out of thy lips thou shalt keep and perform, even a free will offering, according as thou hast vowed unto the Lord thy God, which thou hast promised with thy mouth. Verse 24. When thou comest into thy neighbor's vineyard, then thou mayest eat grapes thy fill at thine own pleasure. But thou shalt not put away in thy vessel. Put any in thy vessel.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much show some decency. Like I was getting at the brotherhood price. Like, like I remember a family member of mine used to be mad at a different family member of mine because he would say when he's coming to these family gatherings and occasions where there'd be food, he would bring Tupperware to take the food back home to his house to eat the food. Pretty much free food. We giving you free food. We showing you brotherhood. Eat the food there and be happy. Don't expect the brotherhood to break its back for you. Don't strain the brotherhood. Don't make it a burden. And that's what's not allowed in the congregation. If you go to your neighbor's house and you can eat grapes. Grapes are offered. You know what I'm saying? But don't take no grapes home with you. Your neighbor needs to eat grapes when you're not there, don't he not? Show some brotherhood to him. He's showing brotherhood to you. So like, was that all we had? You had something on that?
On the one, that's all we had.
We couldn't even get far. We're gonna try to do the best we can tonight. We weren't on a tight schedule, Israel, so we may have to end early, but we're gonna try to get in the most we can. So yeah, get back into the Hebrew whenever you're ready.
Okay. This is the book of Deuteronomy. Salakia.
No. We had one more, right?
One more.
Yeah. We had two more. We had two more. We started 25.
I did 24.
You did 24 and 25.
Verse 25.
That's the end of the chapter.
When thou comest into standing corn of thy neighbor, then thou mayest pluck the ear with thine hand, but thou shalt not move a sickle unto thy neighbor's standing corn.
Mm-hmm. And that if I could, real quickly, that goes into another law. There's the law that says when you have a big field of crops and some of the crops, and you have a gate cutting off your field and a walkway outside of that gate, the crops that grow and past the gate, don't Don't take those crops. Leave those crops to fall for your brother who's walking that road. If he's hungry, for not only for your brother, but for the brother that don't have nothing, for the brother that can't afford food. If he's a wanderer, if he's homeless, and he's just walking that road, he can pluck off those ears of corn or berries or whatever the crop is and eat it for himself, so he can nourish himself in his and what he's going through. You know what I'm saying? He'll have something to eat rather than nothing. But that wanderer, he can't get a sickle and just start sickling your corn, taking all the corn that's throughout the whole edge of the gate, because then he pretty much trying to make a business off of what your brotherhood that you're showing. So that's not allowed. That's how the chapter 23 ended. You're not supposed to, pretty much the end of chapter 23 started off by not being a whore and not letting whores and low life heathens into the congregation, and those that are in the congregation have to show brotherhood to each other. Brotherhood basic levels on regular on regular day-to-day living, and on business levels too. No charging them interest upon interest if you're giving them a loan for something. That's how the house of Israel is supposed to operate. That's what this book teaches us to do. That's what Moses was telling these people they need to do, because at this point in time, the people of Israel, they were just set. They were being set in their promised land. They finally made it out of Egypt and were getting into the promised land. So there had to be rules and regulations for them to be operating as God's chosen people. It's almost like, if I could, it's almost like the God is saying, Israelites, you my chosen people. If we're God's chosen people and we out here wearing hoochie shorts and selling drugs and killing each other, how is we making God look? We're not representing God very well. Not well at all. So for that reason alone, just to represent our Creator, the one that's what's the word I'm looking for? Sponsoring, the one that's sponsoring us, saying that we're His chosen people, putting us above all the people. We have to at least say, He's saying I'm the best. I guess I should act with a little bit more decorum. But we gotta think about that. We gotta do what these scriptures tell us to do. Black man, Hispanic man, Native American man. That's all I had. You had anything,
La.
Con. Most High in Christ. We're gonna get into chapter 24, right?
Chapter 24 and 1. Kind of.
Most High in Christ.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 24, verse 1 in the Hebrew. Kaya, call, Yakwach, Ayash,
Asha. No, it's Ayash and then Asha.
Asha, Waba, Aliyah, Wayaha,
Wahaya.
Wahaya, I'm
La'a.
La'ah, the Mataza Han,
Khan.
Khan,
Mm-hmm.
Ba'a, Yanawa, Yawa, Kaya, Mataza Ba'a, Ira, Wak, Dabar, Wak, Thab, La'a, Sahar, Kara, Yathuf,
Mm-hmm.
Wanathan, Baya Da'a, Washal, Ka'a, Washalaka, Maba Yathawa. Verse 2.
You can move through these if you could. You move through them.
Move on.
That's gonna be our last 7.
Come. Wataza Aya. Maba Yatha Maba Yathawa. Wahal Koya.
Waka.
Waka.
Wahalka.
Wahal Ka. Wahal Yatha'a. Wahal Yatha'a. La.
Wahayat.
Wahal Yatha.
Wahayatha.
Wahal Yatha. La'ayash. Akar.
Mhm.
Slakia, verse 3. Washana'a. Al Ha'a Yash. Ha'yash. Ha'ak Rawan. Ha'ak Rawan. Laka Lakathab.
Mhm.
La'a. Sapar.
It's not la, it's la.
La. Sapar. Kara Yatha.
Karyatha.
Karyatha. Wanathan.
Mhm.
Ba Yada. Ba Yatha. Washal. Washakal.
Washalaka.
Washalaka. Maba Yathwa. Awa. Kaya. Wamawa.
Yamawa.
Yamawa. Ha'aya. Hayash.
Mhm.
Ha'ak. Rawan. Ashar. Lakwa.
Lakwaka.
Lakoka. La'a.
Lawa.
La'asha.
Lawa.
La'asha.
The first one was Lawa.
Lawa. La'asha.
Mhm.
Okay. Verse 4. La'a. Yawakal. Ba'al. Ba'ai. Laya. Hara. Ashwan. Ashara. Shaka. Shakaya. Lashawa. Laquak. Tha. Laha. Yawath. La'a. La'a. Yash. Akar. Akaria. It's like Akar.
It's
Yeah.
called Akaria.
Karia.
Akaria.
Ashar. Hat. Ma'ir. It's like Hatama.
Atama'a.
Hatama'a. Kaya. Thawa. Iba.
Mhm.
Ha.
Hawa'a.
Hawa'a. Lapunya. Yahweh. Wala'a. Fak. To ya. Fak to ya.
Takata ya'a.
The ka to ya'a. Atha. Haratiza. Ashar. Yahweh. Alahayaka. Nathan. Laka. Nak. La'a.
Mhm.
Verse 5. Kaya. Wakwa.
Yaquak.
Yakwa.
Yaquak.
Yakwak. Ayash. Asha.
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 Khadasha.
Kodash.
Khadasha.
Kadasha.
La.
La'a.
Yataza.
Yataza'a. Bataza. Ba'a. Lo. Wala'a.
Mhm.
Ya'ai. Dar. Ya'ai bar. I lo yawa. Ala yawa.
Mhm.
Lakal. Dabar. Nakoya. Yaya. Laba. Rathwa.
Labayafwa.
Laba Yathwa. Shania. Slaki, that's Shana.
Shana.
Shana. Akath. Washamai. Salakia, Washamak, Atha, Asha, Thawa, Ashar, Laquak. Verse 6. La'ah, Wakal, Wakabal, Wakoyam, Wakarab, Salakia, Warakab, Kaya, Napash, Hawa'a, Kadal. Verse 7. Kaya, Yamataza, Ayash, Ganab, Napash, Ma'ak, Yawal, Ma'akwa Ya, sir. Yeah. Naba, Slakia, Mabanya, Yashala, Waha, Fa'ai Mar, Ba'a, Slakia, Bawa, Wamakara, Slakia, Wamakawa, Wama, Haganab, Haha, Wa'a, Waba, Ira, Hara, Makwar, Makarabka.
That's all seven.
That's 7, Con.
Most High praise.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 24, verse 1 in English. When a man hath taken a wife and married her, and it comes to pass that she find no find no favor in his eyes, because he hath found some uncleanness in her, then let him write her a bill of divorcement and give it to her, give it in her hand, and send her out of his house. Verse 2. And when she is departed out of his house, she may go and be another man's wife. Verse 3. And if the latter husband hate her and write her a bill of divorcement and give it in her hand and sendeth her out of his house, or if the latter husband died, which took her to be his wife. Verse 4. Her former husband, which sent her away, may not take her again to be his wife. After that she is defiled, for that is abomination before the Lord. And thou shalt not cause the land to sin, which the Lord thy God giveth thee for an inheritance. Verse 5. When a man hath taken a new wife, he shall not go out to war, neither shall he be charged with any business, but he shall be free at home 1 year, and shall cheer up his wife which he hath taken. Verse 6. No man shall take the neither or the upper milestone to pledge, for he taketh a man's life to pledge.
Okay, before we get into 6 and 7, I'm quickly gonna go over verse 1 through 5, talking about the wife, the married couple. So in verse 1, the man that says he has no that has no favor in his wife anymore, he can stop being that woman's husband, but he's doing a disservice. He's the bad guy in this situation. When he decides that he doesn't want to be his wife's husband anymore because he has no she has no faith. No, normally because it says right here uncleanness, and I believe I'm gonna find out for you by next Sabbath, but I believe that means that she does things that are like borderline sin, if like she's sinning in ways that the husband can't put up with in the relationship, so he can put her away, and then at that point she can find another man. But it does say in verse 4 that if we don't want to cause the land to sin, so we don't want just husband, the former husband was sent her away. He can't take her again because then he'd be making her commit adultery. He can't say, I want you to be my wife after I sent you away. He didn't want you at first because you were committing sins. But if he were to try to take you back, then he would be committing a sin by committing adultery. So that's that first 1 through 4. So now we're going to get into 6 and 7. If you could go do 6 again, Baba Kashan.
Khan. Verse 6. No man shall take the neither or the upper milestone to pledge, for he taketh a man's life to pledge. Verse 7. If a man be found stealing any of his brethren of the children of Israel, and maketh merchandise of him, or selleth him, then that thief shall die, and thou shalt put evil away from among you. That's it, sir.
Most High in Christ. Well, 7 is pretty much self-explanatory. I don't want to speak on 6 because I have to find out some clarity on what they mean by pledge. For he had taken a man's life to pledge. Here, let's look it up. Pledge. The definition of pledge is a solemn promise or undertaking. And then the second definition is a thing that is given as security for the fulfillment of a contract or the payment of a debt and is liable to forfeiture in the event of failure. So that's what the scriptures means by pledge. You can't pretty much what they do in the mafia is you say they loan you some money, but if you can't pay back that money, your life is on the line. You can't do that to your brother. You can't use your life. You can't put your life on the line for a pledge to say that I owe you. If I owe you something, you can always just take my life. Nah, we don't want that in Israel. So that's what verse 5, verse 6 was saying. And verse 7 pretty much is self-explanatory. If a man steals from his brother and tries to make profit off what he stole, then that's a sin, is what it's saying. That thief shall die. And we got to put that evil out. We can't have people stealing from our own. We can't have our own people stealing from us and trying to make a living off of stealing from us. That's just not what we're gonna have in our nation. So,
if I could, priest,
Khan, sir, Khan.
that scripture right there is talking about stealing a man, not stealing from a man.
Oh.
It says if you steal your brethren, read again.
If a man be found stealing any of his brethren,
Be found stealing any of his brethren, go ahead,
of the children of Israel,
of the children of Israel, keep on,
and maketh merchandise of him.
and make it merchandise of him. So you stealing, so this is human trafficking. Human trafficking of your brothers and making merchandise of them.
Most High in Christ. The water I don't want for clarifying that, because that does make more sense. I've seen in the scriptures if a man steals, he should have the ability to pay back what he stole. So he shouldn't be put to death from just stealing. But if he's doing human trafficking, then he should be put to death. That's how great these scriptures are. The water I don't want for that breakdown, because these scriptures it goes back into ancient times. Human trafficking couldn't It wasn't allowed in ancient times. You couldn't put people in slavery. You couldn't put your brother into human trafficking, slavery, making him make you money. Back then, good night. That's a sin worth punishable by death. So the water, we got that. We're gonna end it there. You highlighted it.
Kind of not lie. I need a highlighter.
You gonna have a highlighter?
Yeah, it's right here. I'll give it directly before we do it.
Okay,
There's
kind.
something over there. I
Kind.
can over.
All right, we're gonna end it there. With that, Amalgam. Can I get a horn blast?
La Shalom.
Layasha No, after I cover the scroll. No, to make sure this. I know another horn blast before you pick it up. We're gonna close out with the prayers. Star, which means to turn and face east. There you go.
Come on. This is the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa.
Abanawa,
Mike.
Shabbat Shemayim,
Quadash.
Quadash,
Hayat.
Hayah,
Shimka.
Shemka,
Yahau.
Yahweh,
Malaka.
Malakwatka,
Taba'a.
Taba'ah,
Ratazayaka.
Ratzayaka,
Hayat.
Hayah,
Aisha.
Aisha,
Baratz.
Ba'aratza,
Kawa.
Kawah,
Hayat.
Hayah,
Bashamai.
Bashemayim,
Natalanu.
Nathalanawa,
Ka.
Lakam,
Call.
Call,
Yawam.
Yawam,
Wasalakna.
Waslaknawa,
Kabawatna.
Kabawafnawa,
Kasalakna.
Kasalaknawa,
Kabawatna.
Kabawafnawa,
Wala'a.
Wala'ah,
Tabaayana.
Taba'ayanawa,
Banasayawan.
Banasayawan,
Abal.
Abal,
Hawashayana.
Hawashayanawa,
Maya.
Mayan,
Ra.
Rai,
Kaya.
Kaya,
Laka.
Laka,
Hamalakwa.
Hamalakwa,
Wa'ala.
Wahala,
Wahata Para.
Wahata Para,
La'awalamyam.
La'olamim,
Aman.
Aman. In the English, Our Father,
Our Father.
which art in heaven,
Which art in heaven.
hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
thy kingdom come,
Thy kingdom come.
thy will be done
Thy will be done.
in earth
In earth.
as it is in heaven.
As it is in heaven.
Give us this day
Give us this day
our daily bread,
our daily bread.
and forgive us our debts
And forgive us our debts.
as we forgive our debtors.
As we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not into temptation,
And lead us not into temptation.
but deliver us from evil.
But deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom,
For thine is the kingdom.
and the power,
And the power.
and the glory,
And the glory.
forever.
Forever.
So be it.
So be it.
Sir. Sisters Yeshabium, what means to sit. We can now salute the Torah. Kashai, you can make it down there.
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shabbat.
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shabbat. we're gonna give a courtesy salute to the brothers, men of Israel. Amadim Shabbat, Amadim, Barak, Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barakatah, Yadim Matah. Sorry, trying to face the sisters. Sisters, Amadim, which means to stand. Men of Israel, Amadim Shabbat, Amadim, Barak, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, Yadim Matah. Dismissed.